Chosen one right now, in this very moment, you are experiencing something that feels overwhelming, suffocating like a tight pressure in your chest. A weight you can't shake no matter how hard you try. You might feel like it's the weight of your mistakes, the burden of your past, or perhaps even the crushing realization that you're late in life, late to catch up with your purpose or late in reaching your destiny. This feeling of urgency, this sense of emergency, is not a coincidence. It is not a random sensation or some unfortunate circumstance. This video reached you because your spirit sent out a distress signal. It's the cry of a warrior being prepared for something greater. That pressure you're feeling is not the weight of failure. It's the pressure of something much greater, the divine tension of acceleration. For far too long, many have been taught to believe that this feeling, this pressure, signals that they are running out of time, that they've missed their chance, or that their destiny has somehow passed them by. The enemy wants you to believe this lie to make you feel as though you are hopelessly behind, like you've missed the boat. But hear this clearly, it is not the pressure of failure that you feel. It is the pressure of something great about to be birthed in your life. This emergency feeling, this rush of anxiety, is not the result of being late. It is the consequence of the enemy knowing that his time to stop you is running out. What you are feeling is not the end, it is the beginning of a divine launch. You are not running out of time. You are being loaded for a divine purpose, a massive breakthrough and an acceleration that will change everything. The tension in your spirit, that heaviness in your chest, is not a sign that you're stuck. It's the preparation for your great release. And if you click away now, you'll miss the moment that will unlock your destiny. But if you stay, we are going to release that arrow together. Let's take a moment to understand what's truly happening. The feeling you're experiencing, the sense that you're stuck, that you're not where you should be. It looks like delay, but it is actually something far more powerful. It is divine compression. God is not leaving you behind. No, in fact, He is holding you back for a reason. The pressure you're feeling is not a sign of failure, but an indication that you are being prepared for a breakthrough so big, so monumental, that it will shake the very foundations of your future. You are not experiencing delay. You are experiencing compression. Think of it like the pull of a slingshot. The deeper the pullback, the further the arrow will fly when it is released. Right now, it might feel like you are being pulled backwards, like everything in your life is moving in the wrong direction. But I promise you, it is not a setback. It is divine acceleration. The further the target in your life, the deeper the pullback. The greater your destiny, the more pressure you will feel as the divine slingshot prepares you for a massive breakthrough. You are not being held back because you are late or unworthy. You are being pulled back because you are about to launch into something that is beyond anything you could imagine. This analogy of the divine slingshot perfectly captures the divine principle at play in your life right now. A slingshot doesn't just push the stone forward, it pulls it back with tension, gathering energy, strength, and potential. The deeper the pullback, the farther the stone will fly when released. And that is exactly what is happening to you. God is pulling you back, compressing your energy, preparing you for a release that will propel you further than you've ever gone before. What seems like delay is actually divine preparation. This pressure, this anxiety, this feeling that something big is about to happen, it is the energy building up inside of you. This is not a setback, it's divine acceleration. You are not stuck in a hole. You are sitting in the pocket of a divine slingshot. That tension you feel in your spirit is the accumulation of potential energy gathering, and soon it will release. The enemy wants you to believe it's all falling apart, but in truth, you are being prepared to fly, to soar to a destiny far greater than you can imagine. This is divine timing at work. This is the power of a supernatural slingshot. And you are about to be launched. The key here is to understand that what you're experiencing, this pressure, this sensation of urgency, is not the weight of failure or lost time. It is the divine compression that happens before a massive breakthrough. God is setting you up for a release that will propel you forward faster than you've ever moved before. So instead of feeling defeated, embrace this moment. Embrace the tension. Embrace the pressure. It's not a sign that you're stuck. It's a sign that you're about to be launched into something extraordinary. What you may perceive as a delay is simply divine acceleration in the making. Get ready. You are about to be launched into your destiny. And this is only the beginning. Let's begin by diving deeper into what you chosen one are truly experiencing right now. The pressure, the tension, the feeling that you are being pulled back, it's all part of something far greater than what your mind can immediately comprehend. It might feel like delay, but in truth, what you're experiencing is divine compression. The enemy would have you believe that you are stuck, that you have missed your moment, that you are too late. But this is a lie. The sensation you're feeling, this weight pressing down on your chest, this feeling of time slipping away, is actually a sign of potential energy being stored, not failure. It's not the sign of a setback. It's the tension before a divine release. Imagine for a moment a bow and arrow. When the archer wants the arrow to fly further than ever before, they do not push it forward. Instead, they pull it back. The further they want it to go, the deeper they pull it back into the bowstring. The more tension is built up, the more energy is stored in the arrow. The same principle applies to you. What feels like delay, what feels like you are being held back, is the energy being stored in your life. Every moment of pressure, every feeling that you're not where you should be, is building up potential, divine potential that is going to propel you forward with such force, such power, that you will be launched into your destiny. This is not just some random feeling of stress or anxiety. It's divine preparation. The pressure you feel is the divine slingshot being pulled back, preparing you for an unprecedented breakthrough. You may look at your life right now and feel like you're not progressing, but the truth is, this season of tension, this time of feeling stuck, is not failure. It is divine compression. God is not holding you back because you're too late. He is holding you back because you are about to be launched into something far greater than you ever imagined. You are not stuck in a hole. You are being prepared for launch. And this is the moment when everything changes. This understanding of divine compression can be explained through the concept of spiritual laws in play. In both the physical world and the spiritual realm, time operates under laws that often defy human understanding. The principle of retrograde motion in physics provides an excellent analogy. When a planet appears to move backward in the sky, it is actually moving along a different orbital path that gives the illusion of retrograde motion. It's not that the planet is moving backward, it's that it's being accelerated and shifted along a different path. This is exactly what's happening in your life. It feels like you're moving backward, but what's really happening is that you are being prepared for acceleration. You're being pulled back into a divine slingshot to gather energy, to build momentum, and to prepare for the incredible release that will propel you forward. The same principle applies to your spiritual life. You may feel like you're not making progress, like you're stuck in a cycle, but in reality, you're being compressed. The greater the vision, the greater the pullback. The more powerful the purpose, the more tension it requires to be released. And this is the season you're in right now. It may feel uncomfortable, even painful at times, but it's in this compression that you're gathering the strength and energy you need to fulfill your divine calling. And when the slingshot releases, you will be launched into a season of supernatural acceleration. This concept is not just a physical principle. It's also deeply rooted in the Bible. In Habakkuk 2:3, the scripture says, "For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry." Most people, when they read this verse, misunderstand the word tarry. They interpret it as meaning to be late or to loiter. But if you look at the context of the Hebrew culture, the word tarry does not mean to be late or to waste time. In fact, it means something much more powerful. The waiting in this context is active. It's not passive sitting. It's the tension of a watchman waiting for the dawn. It's the gathering of mass, the ripening of a vision, the preparation of something great that is about to come to fruition. The waiting in this verse is not about stagnation or delay. It's about active preparation. The vision is ripening, accumulating weight and mass building towards the moment when it will be released. You may feel like you've been waiting for a long time, but God is telling you that this waiting is not in vain. The vision is still in process. It is not lost. It is gathering mass, gaining power, and preparing for the appointed time when it will speak, when it will be revealed, and when it will come to pass in your life. This brings us to the next important aspect, the hidden divine shift that is taking place within you. There are specific biological and spiritual markers that differentiate between being stuck and experiencing divine acceleration. One of the key markers is your brain frequency. Right now, without moving a muscle, I want you to pay attention to the noise inside your head. Not the sounds in the room, but the racing thoughts, the worries, the endless to-do lists, the regrets about yesterday, and the fears about tomorrow. That static noise is the sound of your brain operating in beta waves. Beta waves are the frequency of survival, the frequency of the matrix, where the mind is constantly in a state of stress, anxiety, and overdrive. When you are in high beta, you are operating from a place of fear, cortisol, and stress. In this state, time feels scarce, and you feel like you're running on a hamster wheel, constantly moving, but getting nowhere. You feel the pressure. You feel the weight. Your spirit is trying to rise above, but your mind is locked in the cage of survival. This is exactly what the enemy wants. He wants to keep you in this state of panic, of constant emergency, so that you never step into the frequency where miracles happen, where divine acceleration takes place. But there is another frequency, a frequency where time becomes non-linear, where divine downloads happen in an instant, where your spirit connects directly with God's will for your life. That frequency is theta. Theta is the state of the miraculous. It's where divine acceleration happens. It's where time bends and becomes compressed. When you enter the theta state, you are no longer bound by the limitations of the world around you. You step into the flow of the divine, where your spirit is in perfect alignment with God's purpose for your life. And this is where you are headed. This is where the enemy is trying to keep you out of. Because he knows that once you shift into theta, once you enter that divine flow, there is no stopping you. Your breakthrough is inevitable. The divine shift is about moving from the beta frequency of survival to the theta frequency of divine acceleration. It's about breaking free from the cycle of panic and moving into the flow of God's timing. The enemy wants to keep you stuck in the noise, in the chaos, in the static of your thoughts. But God is calling you to rise above, to shift your frequency, to step into a new reality where miracles happen, where time accelerates, and where your purpose is unleashed in a way you've never experienced before. And the key to unlocking this shift is understanding the divine compression that is taking place in your life right now. What feels like delay is actually divine preparation. What feels like being stuck is actually the gathering of mass, the storing of energy, and the building of momentum for your supernatural acceleration. As you continue to navigate this season, it's crucial to fully grasp the profound implications of what's happening in your life. The enemy will try to deceive you, telling you that the pressure you feel is a sign of your failure or of an imminent crisis. But this is far from the truth. This weight, this sense of urgency, is not a sign that you've missed your opportunity or that you are behind. It is a sign that you are being meticulously prepared for something extraordinary. The force of compression you're experiencing right now, though it may seem unbearable, is a mark of divine acceleration. You are being prepared for a moment that is coming at an unprecedented speed, far beyond anything you've ever imagined. This is not about stagnation. It is about momentum, a spiritual momentum that is building with every passing moment, even though it may feel like you are stuck in place. The divine slingshot analogy is central to understanding the deeper spiritual dynamics at play. If you look at your life right now, it may appear that everything is moving backward. Dreams are on hold, goals seem out of reach, and progress feels slower than ever before. But remember this, a slingshot doesn't push its projectile forward. It pulls it backward, creating the tension necessary to propel it to new heights. If you've ever felt like you are being dragged backward, it's important to recognize that this is a divine setup for a powerful release. The deeper the pullback, the further you will go when the release happens. The pressure you are experiencing isn't designed to break you. It's designed to prepare you for the speed and the impact of the breakthrough that's coming. This spiritual phenomenon operates by principles that are both ancient and timeless. The concept of divine compression isn't new, and it isn't random. It is rooted in the laws of divine purpose and spiritual physics. Time, as you understand it, is not just a linear experience. It is a fluid concept that bends and shifts according to the divine will. In the natural world, retrograde motion, the appearance of planets moving backward in the sky, happens when the planet aligns in such a way that it appears to be going in reverse. But in reality, the planet isn't moving backward at all. It's simply following a path that prepares it for a greater motion forward. Similarly, in your life, what appears to be a setback or delay is actually a divine alignment, preparing you for a breakthrough. It's like a race car on a track. It might seem like the car is being pulled back in order to gain traction, but once that car is released, it accelerates with unparalleled speed. You are that car, and right now God is giving you the traction you need to catapult into your future. Habakkuk 2:3 is a scripture that perfectly encapsulates this truth. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. The vision, the purpose, the destiny you've been waiting for, it's not lost. It's just ripening. It's gathering strength and mass. Though the waiting feels like a long pause, it is not time wasted. It is the active work of preparation. Your vision is in the process of being formed, and the delay you feel is merely the time it takes for your purpose to be refined. That the word tarry in the Bible is often misunderstood. In modern times, it's been associated with being late or passive. But in the original Hebrew context, tarry refers to a proactive, eager waiting, like a watchman waiting for the dawn to break. It is the anticipation of something that is certain to come, even though the exact moment is not yet revealed. This proactive waiting is exactly what you are doing right now. You are not sitting idly by while nothing happens. You are being actively prepared. Your spirit is being stretched, your capacity is being expanded, and your vision is becoming clearer. You are not in a passive season. You are in a season of divine preparation. Your vision is gathering mass, and soon it will be released. The shift that is happening in your life right now is not simply a matter of circumstance. It is a deep spiritual shift that transcends time and space. It involves the very fabric of your being, your mind, body, and spirit. This is why the understanding of brain frequencies becomes so important. Right now, your brain is likely operating in a state of high beta waves, which are associated with stress survival mode and anxiety. Beta waves are the frequency of the external world, the frequency of the matrix where everything feels urgent and every moment seems filled with pressure. It's the frequency that makes you feel like there is never enough time and that you're always behind. But in this state, you're running on a hamster wheel. You're spinning and exerting energy, but you're not going anywhere. You're in a cycle of stress and overthinking, and it feels like you can't break free from the constant noise. However, there is another frequency, a frequency that you can access right now. It's the frequency of theta, a state of deep connection with the divine where time becomes non-linear and where supernatural acceleration can take place. Theta is the frequency where miracles happen. It's the place where divine downloads happen instantly. In this state, you are not bound by the ticking of the clock or the pressure of the external world. You are in the flow of God's purpose, and you are being guided and empowered to fulfill your destiny with clarity and purpose. The battle between beta and theta is at the heart of the spiritual shift you are experiencing. The enemy knows that when you shift into theta, when you align your brain with divine timing and supernatural acceleration, there is nothing he can do to stop you. This is why he works tirelessly to keep you in the chaos of beta, to keep your mind distracted and overwhelmed so that you can't hear the still, small voice of God leading you to your breakthrough. But the good news is that you can shift your brain frequencies. You can break free from the noise and step into the divine flow of theta, where time no longer feels like an enemy and where your destiny unfolds at a supernatural pace. The hidden divine shift is taking place right now in your life. You may not see it with your physical eyes, but in the spiritual realm, everything is aligning. The tension you feel is the buildup of divine energy, and the enemy knows that this compression is preparing you for a powerful release. Your mind and spirit are being prepared for the acceleration that is coming. And as you begin to shift your frequency, as you begin to move from beta to theta, you will feel the divine momentum building within you. This is not the end. It is just the beginning. The slingshot is being pulled back, and you are about to be launched into your destiny. As you sit in this divine tension chosen, understand that the path you're walking on is not a simple linear progression. The pressure you feel in your chest is not a random feeling of anxiety. It is the compression of your destiny. You might feel overwhelmed and unsure, thinking that your progress has been halted, or that the door to your dreams is slowly closing. But I want to tell you this: you are exactly where you need to be. You're not stuck in a cycle of delay. You are being meticulously prepared for a divine breakthrough. And this preparation, though uncomfortable, is necessary for the next chapter of your life to unfold. The concept of time in the spiritual realm doesn't operate in the same way it does in the physical world. In our day-to-day lives, we are constantly watching the clock, counting down the seconds, minutes, and hours, believing that time is our enemy, that we are losing it, or that we've missed it. But in God's economy, time is fluid. It is not linear, and it is certainly not limited by the constraints of a ticking clock. That is the beauty of divine timing. What you see as delays, as setbacks, is actually a part of a much grander divine orchestration, one that is intentionally and precisely designed to bring you into your appointed purpose. Think of how a musician tunes their instrument before a performance. The tension in the strings is necessary to create the right pitch and tone. If the strings were too loose, they wouldn't produce the desired sound. In the same way, God is tuning you for your highest potential. The pressure, the compression you're feeling in your spirit is a necessary part of the process. It is the preparation for a divine release, just like an archer pulling back the arrow in the slingshot. It may feel like things are being pulled backward, but in reality, you are accumulating the energy, the strength, and the power to shoot forward with a force you never imagined possible. This principle is rooted not only in spiritual truth, but in the very fabric of the universe. In physics, retrograde motion refers to the apparent backward movement of planets as observed from Earth. It is a phenomenon that occurs due to the relative motion of planets in their orbits. While this backward movement may appear to be a setback, it is in fact a natural part of the orbit, a necessary phase for the planet to align with its ultimate trajectory. In the same way, what may appear to be a backward motion in your life is simply a divine preparation for greater alignment with your destiny. You are being repositioned for something greater. You may feel stuck, but this is not a prison. It is a moment of divine acceleration. God is realigning you, gathering momentum, and positioning you for a breakthrough of supernatural proportions. The waiting you are experiencing is not a sign of being behind. It is the active preparation for what's about to unfold. This divine compression, though challenging, is in perfect harmony with the biblical wisdom shared in Habakkuk 2:3. When we read, "For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. We must recognize that this vision, this purpose, is on a divine timetable, not a human one. The term tarry here does not refer to being late or stuck in an endless waiting period. Rather, it refers to the active, expectant waiting like a watchman waiting for the morning light. The waiting is purposeful. It is the ripening of your destiny. The vision that God has placed on your heart is still intact, still coming together, and it is growing in strength and power even when it appears to be delayed. This is the moment where many give up. They look at the delay and conclude that their vision has failed, that their dreams are unachievable. But the Bible assures us that the vision will speak. It will not lie. It may take time to come to fruition, but in the end, it will come exactly as God has ordained it. Your vision, the purpose that God has placed on your heart, is not going anywhere. It is only being prepared, being ripened, and gathering the mass needed to make the impact it is destined to make. The divine shift happening within you is not just about waiting. It's about transforming your spiritual and mental state to align with God's timing. There are biological and spiritual markers that tell us whether we are in a season of true divine acceleration or whether we are stuck in a cycle of anxiety and pressure. These markers are found in your brainwaves, specifically in the transition from beta to theta. Beta waves are the frequency of survival. It is the frequency where anxiety, stress, and worry rule. This is where you feel as though you're racing against time, constantly trying to keep up with the world's demands. When you're in high beta, it feels as though you are moving fast, but you're not getting anywhere. It's like running on a treadmill. You're expending energy, but you're not making progress. On the other hand, theta waves are the frequency of divine connection. When you're operating in theta, time feels different. It is no longer constrained by the limits of the world. In the theta state, divine downloads happen instantly, and you align with God's will in real time. You enter a supernatural flow where your spirit is in perfect alignment with God's purpose for your life. The tension you feel is the conflict between the beta frequency, the noise of survival, and the theta frequency, the peace of divine connection. It is in the theta state that you experience true acceleration. The enemy, however, knows this truth. He knows that if you can shift into theta, you will align with your divine purpose and experience supernatural breakthrough. This is why he works tirelessly to keep you locked in beta, to keep you distracted and overwhelmed by the noise and chaos of the world. He doesn't want you to access the miraculous flow of God's timing. But God is calling you higher. He is calling you to step out of the noise and into the divine frequency of theta, where time becomes non-linear, where miracles happen in an instant, and where your destiny unfolds at the speed of God's will. As you step into this awareness, it is important to recognize that this shift isn't about doing more, working harder, or trying to force progress. It's about aligning with God's timing and embracing the divine compression that is preparing you for a launch. The pressure, the feeling of being pulled backward, is simply the divine slingshot preparing you for the greatest acceleration of your life. You are not behind. You are not stuck. You are being positioned, compressed, and prepared for a release that will exceed your wildest expectations. Keep your focus, remain steadfast, and trust that this season of compression is not a delay. It is your divine launchpad. And when the time comes, you will be propelled forward into your destiny with an unstoppable force. The tension you're feeling, chosen one, is far from random. It is part of a calculated strategy, a spiritual battle happening on a level that most people can't perceive. What you're experiencing right now, the pressure, the overwhelming sense of urgency, the constant feeling of being behind, even though you know you're doing your best, is not merely emotional or physical stress. This is a battle over your mind, your spirit, and your destiny. The enemy's strategy is simple but effective: to keep you trapped in the chaos of beta, where your brain is constantly running in survival mode, trapped in the noise and confusion of this world. The emergency feeling, the weight in your chest, the fear that you're too late, this is all designed to keep you in a state of constant hustle, stress, and anxiety. It is a subtle yet powerful distraction, one that prevents you from stepping into the divine flow that God has prepared for you. In the world around us, there is an overwhelming amount of noise. The constant demands of daily life, the pressure to keep up with expectations, the distractions from social media work, and everything else, they all contribute to the beta frequency that the enemy wants to keep you in. Beta waves are the frequency of survival. They are the waves that occur when your brain is operating under stress, under pressure, when you feel that there is never enough time, never enough energy, and never enough resources. It's the state that keeps you constantly moving, but never making progress. You feel like you're spinning your wheels, trapped in a cycle of hustle and exhaustion, but getting nowhere. This is exactly where the enemy wants you to stay. When you are in beta, you are disconnected from your true power. You are disconnected from the divine flow that will carry you into your purpose. The more you are in this frequency, the more it pulls you further from your destiny, further from the miracles, breakthroughs, and divine acceleration that await you. The emergency feeling that you are experiencing right now, the weight in your chest, the sense that time is running out, is precisely what the enemy wants you to feel. It keeps you in a constant state of panic of survival and prevents you from entering into the higher state of divine connection that will release you into the fullness of your purpose. You might have felt this shift before, a sudden rush of anxiety when you think about what you haven't accomplished yet, or when you focus on the things you've missed. This is the enemy's manipulation of your brain frequency, keeping you in a cycle of fear and panic. But chosen one, you must know, this emergency is not real. It is a lie designed to keep you trapped in a false sense of urgency. The enemy is trying to prevent you from recognizing the power you have within you. He wants to keep you stuck in the noise so that you never rise above it to enter the divine flow that is available to you. But there is good news. The divine solution, the key to breaking free from this manipulation, is within you. The answer is simple but powerful. You must shift your frequency from beta to theta. You must tune out the noise, step out of the chaos, and enter into the divine flow of God's timing. Theta is the frequency where miracles happen. It's the frequency of divine downloads, of breakthroughs, and of supernatural acceleration. When you are in theta, you are no longer bound by the limitations of time-space or the noise of the world. You are aligned with God's purpose, and everything begins to move in alignment with that purpose. The divine acceleration that you're seeking is found in this frequency. It is here in the stillness and peace of theta that your spirit aligns with God's will, and the barriers that once held you back are lifted. You are no longer moving in survival mode. You are moving in divine flow, and that is where your purpose comes to life. In theta, time itself becomes non-linear. The urgency you felt is replaced with peace, and what seemed like a delay now becomes an opportunity for divine acceleration. You are not stuck. You are in the perfect position for God's purposes to unfold at the exact right time. This is the key difference between beta and theta. In beta, you feel rushed, anxious, and trapped in a cycle of endless to-do lists and deadlines. In theta, you are in a state of flow where everything you need comes to you at the right time. In theta, you tap into the supernatural power of God's timing. You are no longer constrained by the pressure of the world's expectations. Instead, you are operating in a space where the miraculous can unfold, where divine timing and purpose can accelerate your life in ways that the world's systems cannot. But how do you make this shift? How do you go from the chaos of beta to the peace of theta? This is where the solution lies, in your ability to consciously shift your brainwaves. Shifting from beta to theta is not about forcing yourself to calm down or trying to control your thoughts. It's about aligning yourself with the divine flow, tuning your brain to the frequency where miracles happen. One of the most effective ways to achieve this is through sound. There is a technology, a frequency key, that can help you access the theta state in a matter of minutes. This is not a complicated process. It is simple and profound. By listening to a sound-based frequency, you can entrain your brain to shift from the beta frequency of survival into the theta frequency of divine acceleration. This is a tool that has been used by ancient civilizations, but it has been largely forgotten in our modern world. The genius wave, as it is known, is a sound frequency that has the power to shift your brain from beta to theta in as little as 7 minutes a day. This frequency, scientifically proven to work, has been used by NASA in studies of genius potential, showing that 98% of children are born with the capacity to access this theta state, but over time, the distractions and pressures of the world dull this ability. The genius wave restores that ability, allowing you to reconnect with the divine flow and align your spirit with God's will. The more you listen to this frequency, the more your brain will naturally shift into theta, and the more you will align with your divine purpose. This is not just a relaxation technique. This is not just a meditation tool. This is a targeted frequency designed to unlock your divine acceleration. It is the key that allows you to bypass the years of effort, the years of trying to figure out how to make things work on your own. It is a tool that aligns your brain with God's frequency, allowing you to bypass the struggles of the past and step into a new season of divine purpose. The more you listen to the genius wave, the more your brain will shift, and the more you will begin to see the world through God's eyes. Your spirit will rise above the noise, and you will begin to see your destiny unfold in real-time. Now, the urgency of this shift cannot be overstated. If you remain in beta, if you continue to operate in survival mode, you will remain stuck in the cycle of anxiety, fear, and delay. But when you shift into theta, you will experience a divine acceleration that will propel you forward faster than you ever thought possible. The miracle of time compression, the ability to collapse years of effort into a short period of time, will become your reality. You will stop running in circles. You will stop feeling like you're behind. You will step into the divine flow of God's will, where miracles happen effortlessly, where your purpose unfolds naturally, and where you will experience the breakthrough you've been waiting for. The enemy knows that when you shift into theta, when you align with God's divine timing, there is nothing he can do to stop you. This is why he works so hard to keep you locked in beta, to keep you stuck in the noise. But the good news is that you have the power to break free. You have the key to unlock divine acceleration, and it is within your reach. All it takes is your willingness to shift your frequency and step into the flow of God's purpose. So don't wait any longer. Take the step today. Shift into theta and experience the divine acceleration that awaits you. As you begin to understand the power of shifting from beta to theta, it's essential to recognize that this shift is not just a passive change, but an active choice. A choice to step into your divine acceleration, to release yourself from the chains of constant hustle and stress. The enemy's strategy is to keep you ensnared in the beta frequency, because he knows that if you ever truly step into the theta state, your life will change in ways that are unstoppable. He knows that the moment you shift your focus and tune your brain to the frequency of divine flow, nothing in this world can hold you back from fulfilling your purpose. But this choice is yours, chosen one. The solution is simple, but it requires your commitment. The enemy wants you to stay stuck in the noise, to stay trapped in the frenzy of daily life, because he knows that in this state you are weak, you are confused, and you are vulnerable. In beta, you are constantly reacting to the world around you, reacting to stress, reacting to deadlines, reacting to fear. You are being swept along by the currents of life, and in this state, your power is diminished. But when you make the conscious decision to shift into theta, you no longer react. You move with intention. You align yourself with God's plan, and you step into a state where divine solutions and breakthroughs flow effortlessly. Think about the difference between being caught in the storm and being in the eye of the storm. When you are in beta, you are swept up in the whirlwind of life's chaos. You're like a ship tossed on the waves, struggling to stay afloat, constantly adjusting to the ever-changing tides. But when you shift to theta, you enter the eye of the storm. The chaos continues to swirl around you, but in theta, you are at peace. You are still. You are aligned with the divine, and everything around you begins to align with that peace. The storms of life that once seemed overwhelming now seem small in comparison to the power and peace you feel in theta. You are no longer subject to the whims of the world. You are no longer at the mercy of stress and panic. You are in the divine flow, and it is here that you find your strength, your clarity, and your purpose. When you begin to understand this, you will realize that the shift from beta to theta is the key to unlocking your divine potential. In beta, you are trapped in the confines of time, working tirelessly but not making significant progress. You are constantly trying to catch up, but no matter how much you do, there always seems to be more to do. You feel like you're running out of time, like you're too late, like the door to your dreams is closing. But in theta, time becomes your ally. Time no longer operates on the same linear plane. In theta, divine acceleration takes place. What once seemed impossible becomes inevitable. In the theta state, you can compress what would have taken years of hard work into a fraction of the time. You align with God's perfect timing, and everything falls into place. You experience breakthroughs that you never thought possible. Your destiny, which once seemed far off, becomes your reality. This is the urgency of the moment, chosen one. Right now, you are being called to make the shift. You are being called to leave behind the noise of beta and enter the flow of theta. The urgency you feel, that sense of being behind that panic and stress, is a lie. It is a tool of the enemy to keep you trapped in survival mode. But you have the power to break free. You have the key to unlock divine acceleration. And all it takes is your willingness to shift your focus, your frequency, and your mindset. When you enter the theta state, everything changes. You will experience divine acceleration like never before. What used to take years will now happen in months. What used to take months will now happen in weeks. And what used to take weeks will now happen in days. The breakthroughs you've been waiting for are waiting for you in theta. The wisdom, the guidance, the divine downloads, they are all available to you in this space. In theta, you align with the very heartbeat of God, and His timing begins to work in perfect harmony with your purpose. This is not just about relaxation or stress relief. This is about divine purpose, divine acceleration, and divine breakthrough. The enemy wants you to believe that you are too far behind, that you are too late. But the truth is, you are exactly where you need to be. God is aligning everything in your life for this moment. He is preparing you for a supernatural release, and all you need to do is step into the frequency where miracles happen. In order to make this shift, you must intentionally create the space to enter the theta state. The genius wave, the sound technology that helps your brain shift into theta, is a powerful tool for this. It's not magic, it's science. It's a tool that has been used by ancient civilizations and rediscovered in modern times to help you access the frequency of divine flow. By listening to this frequency for just 7 minutes a day, you can entrain your brain to move from beta to theta, to enter the divine flow, and to begin experiencing the acceleration you've been waiting for. But the key to unlocking this acceleration lies in your consistency. You must commit to making this shift every day, every moment you feel the pull of beta trying to drag you back. The more you listen to the genius wave, the more you will align yourself with the divine. The more you align, the faster you will move. This is how you break free from the cycle of stress, anxiety, and delay. This is how you step into the life that God has planned for you, a life filled with divine acceleration, breakthroughs, and purpose. The enemy's plan to keep you in beta is powerful, but it is no match for the power of God's timing. When you shift into theta, you enter the flow of divine purpose, and nothing in this world can stop you. The breakthroughs you've been waiting for are not just around the corner. They are here waiting for you to step into the frequency that will unlock them. And as you begin to make this shift, you will find that your life begins to accelerate in ways you never thought possible. The tension, the stress, the sense of being behind it will all fall away, and you will step into the divine flow of God's timing and purpose. This is your moment. This is the shift you've been waiting for. Make the choice today to step out of the noise of beta and into the divine flow of theta. Your breakthrough is waiting for you. The key to breaking the cycle of feeling trapped in beta, the relentless survival mode that has kept you stuck for so long, lies in an ancient secret that has been rediscovered in modern times. The power to shift from the chaos of the world and into the divine flow of theta, the frequency where miracles, divine downloads, and acceleration occur, is not as complicated or out of reach as you may think. The secret lies in a simple, profound technology known as the genius wave. This sound-based frequency, scientifically engineered to entrain your brain, helps you transition from the stressful beta waves into the peace and clarity of theta in just 7 minutes a day. This technology is not some abstract theory or New Age fad. It is based on research conducted by NASA, which has confirmed the incredible potential that resides within the human brain when it is tuned to the correct frequency. NASA's research on genius potential revealed something remarkable. The vast majority of children are born with the innate ability to access theta, the frequency of divine connection, creativity, and supernatural potential. However, as we grow older and are bombarded by the demands of modern life, we lose this ability. The stresses, the distractions, the noise of the world, all of it gradually pulls us out of theta and locks us into beta, the frequency of survival. Over time, we become disconnected from our divine potential, trapped in a cycle of constant hustle and stress, moving through life at a frantic pace, yet feeling as though we're not making any real progress. The genius wave is the key to unlocking this dormant potential, to reconnecting with the divine frequency that God has designed for you to operate in. The genius wave technology works by using specific sound frequencies to synchronize your brain waves, guiding them from the beta state, where stress, anxiety, and survival mode rule, into the theta state, where you align with God's will, where miracles happen effortlessly, and where time itself seems to bend in your favor. The beauty of the genius wave is in its simplicity. You don't need to meditate for hours every day, nor do you need years of training to access theta. With just 7 minutes a day of listening to this frequency, you can bypass the years of struggle, the endless cycles of feeling stuck and lost, and enter into the flow of divine purpose. It's like having a shortcut to the miraculous. In just a few minutes a day, you can activate the divine acceleration that has been waiting for you. What makes the genius wave so powerful is that it doesn't require you to force a shift in your own energy or spend endless hours trying to quiet your mind. Instead, it works with the natural rhythms of your brain to bring you into a state of divine alignment. It's like a tuning fork for your spirit. The frequency guides your brain to drop from the chaos of beta into the peace of theta, allowing you to align with God's timing, purpose, and power. In theta, you no longer feel the urgency of survival. You no longer feel the weight of time pressing against you. Instead, you enter a space where everything flows naturally, where divine timing takes over, and everything begins to align in perfect harmony. The genius wave is the catalyst that helps you make that shift quickly and effortlessly, allowing you to step into your divine acceleration. This tool is not just about relaxation or stress relief, though it does help with those things. It is about transforming your entire experience of time and reality. The moment you begin using the genius wave, you begin to break free from the limitations that the world and the enemy have placed on you. You begin to access a higher level of functioning, one where miracles, divine downloads, and breakthroughs happen with ease. Time becomes flexible, and you begin to experience divine acceleration that transcends the natural limitations of the world. What once seemed impossible suddenly becomes inevitable, and all of this can happen in just 7 minutes a day. Now let me share a real-life example of someone who experienced this transformation. Meet David, a man just like you who had felt stuck in life for years. David was 45 years old, broke, and feeling as though he had missed his chance at success. He watched his friends, people he grew up with, become successful, while he felt like he was stuck in the same place day after day. He had dreams, aspirations, and desires, but no matter how hard he worked, it seemed like things never worked out for him. Every time he took one step forward, it felt like he was pushed 3 steps back. Like many of us, he had been living in survival mode, trapped in the beta frequency of stress and anxiety. He was constantly hustling, constantly pushing, constantly trying to make things happen, but nothing seemed to stick. Then something changed. David discovered the genius wave and decided to give it a try. At first, he was skeptical, unsure of how just 7 minutes of listening to a frequency could change his life. But he was desperate for a shift. He had nothing to lose. So he committed to listening to the genius wave every day for just 7 minutes. At first, it felt strange. He wasn't sure if he was doing it right or if it was making any difference, but over time, something began to shift within him. He found himself thinking more clearly, more focused, more aligned with his purpose. The pressure and anxiety that had once consumed him began to dissipate. And as he continued using the genius wave, he began to notice profound changes in his life. In week 3, David had an idea for a business. It was crazy to him at first. It didn't seem like something that could work, but he felt a sense of inspiration and clarity that he hadn't experienced in years. By week 5, he met a partner in a coffee shop who funded the entire vision. Within 6 months, David had accomplished more than he had in the previous decade. He didn't work harder. He didn't hustle more. He didn't burn himself out trying to make things happen. Instead, he shifted his frequency. He aligned himself with the divine flow, and everything started to fall into place. He compressed years of struggle into a few short months. And that's the power of the genius wave. David's story is not unique. It's the story of countless people who have experienced a life-changing transformation by shifting their frequency. When you access theta, when you align with God's divine timing, miracles happen. The obstacles that once seemed insurmountable suddenly appear small. The opportunities that once felt out of reach become easily attainable. The divine acceleration that you've been waiting for is no longer a distant dream. It is a reality that is available to you right now. This is the gift that the genius wave brings. It is the gift of divine acceleration, the ability to bypass the struggles and delays that have held you back. In just 7 minutes a day, you can shift your brain into theta and unlock the flow of miracles that will propel you into your destiny. The more you use this tool, the more you will align with God's purpose for your life. You will begin to see your dreams come to life faster than you ever imagined. You will experience breakthroughs, divine ideas, and opportunities that seem to appear out of nowhere. Time will no longer feel like your enemy. Instead, you will experience the power of divine timing and acceleration. But the key is consistency. The more you listen to the genius wave, the more your brain will become attuned to the divine frequency. You will begin to access the supernatural flow of God's purpose with greater ease and speed. Your life will no longer be bound by the limitations of the world. You will step into the fullness of your destiny, and you will experience divine acceleration like never before. The genius wave is not just a tool. It is the key that unlocks your divine purpose, propels you into the flow of God's timing, and opens the door to miracles and breakthroughs. David's transformation is just the beginning of what can happen when you align yourself with the divine flow. You too can experience the same shift. You too can break free from the cycle of hustle and stress. You too can experience the supernatural acceleration that comes with shifting your frequency into theta. It all begins with 7 minutes a day. Will you take the first step today? Will you choose to shift your frequency and step into your divine purpose? The time is now. The divine acceleration you've been waiting for is ready to unfold. Are you ready to receive it? Now that you understand the incredible power of shifting your frequency, chosen one, it's time to activate the divine transformation within you. This is not a passive moment. This is the moment when you step into the fullness of your divine purpose, when you align yourself fully with God's timing and embrace the acceleration that has been divinely prepared for you. I want you to take a deep breath and close your eyes, allowing your spirit to rise up within you. Picture your inner man standing at attention, focused, strong, and ready for the divine deployment that has been ordained for this very moment. You have been in a season of preparation, but now the time has come to step into your destiny with power and purpose. As you stand in this moment, visualize yourself standing tall, ready for the divine assignment that is about to unfold. This is the moment of activation, the moment when your spirit aligns with God's will, when the tension of the slingshot is released, and you are launched into the divine acceleration you've been waiting for. Your spirit is ready. You are equipped. You are poised for action. This is your moment. Now let's seal this shift with a powerful prayer. As you stand in the position of readiness, I want you to declare with boldness and confidence that the season of delay is over. The chains of anxiety, the weight of confusion, and the grip of fear that have held you back are broken. You are no longer bound by the limits of the past. Your destiny is calling, and you are ready to step into it. In the mighty name of Jesus, I declare that this season of delay is broken. I speak to the spirit of procrastination, the spirit of fear, and the spirit of doubt, and I command them to release their hold on you. You are no longer trapped in the cycle of anxiety and waiting. You are now stepping into divine acceleration, moving forward with purpose, power, and clarity. I declare that every obstacle that has stood in your way is now being removed. Every door that has been closed is now opening. You are stepping into a new season, a season of divine favor, divine opportunity, and divine purpose. This is your time. Your purpose is unfolding. You are now ready for your divine deployment. With this prayer, you have just activated the power within you to shift your life, chosen one. The tension that has felt so overwhelming is now giving way to divine release. The slingshot has been pulled back, and now you are being launched into your purpose at divine speed. The enemy can no longer hold you back. The forces that tried to keep you stuck in survival mode are powerless now. You are aligned with God's timing, and you are about to experience supernatural acceleration like never before. The breakthrough you've been waiting for is here. The opportunities that once seemed out of reach are now within your grasp. You are not too late. You are exactly on time, and everything is falling into place. This is your moment to shine. Now, chosen one, I call you to action. The shift has taken place, and it is time for you to step boldly into your divine destiny. Trust the process. Trust that this shift is not just a momentary change. It is the beginning of a new chapter in your life. A chapter filled with divine acceleration, supernatural breakthroughs, and fulfillment of purpose. Embrace the frequency shift that has taken place within you. Embrace the divine acceleration that is now at work in your life. Don't hold back. Don't hesitate. Trust that you are now launched into the divine flow of God's purpose for your life. The road ahead is clear, and your destiny is unfolding before you. As you step forward, take action with confidence. The vision that has been placed in your heart is no longer a distant dream. It is a present reality that is being activated right now. The power of divine timing is in your hands. The frequency shift that you've embraced is now unlocking doors that were previously closed. The breakthrough you've been waiting for is within your reach. Take action now, knowing that you are divinely equipped for this next step. Trust that God has gone before you, and He is with you every step of the way. You are not alone in this journey. You are not behind. You are right where you need to be, and everything is aligning perfectly. Now, I encourage you to walk forward in faith and confidence. The season of delay is over. The season of acceleration has begun. Don't wait for permission or for perfect conditions. The time is now. Your destiny is calling you, and you are ready to answer. Take the first step with boldness, knowing that every step you take will be guided by divine wisdom, divine favor, and divine purpose. The slingshot has released, and you are now soaring toward your destiny. Embrace the shift, embrace the flow, and embrace the divine acceleration that is already in motion. You are in your appointed season. You are ready for your divine deployment. Let's go. The journey has just begun, and you are right where you need to be.